Welcome back. What do you get when a party has one record-breaking speech that said nothing, one predictable election win in Wisconsin, and some protests over the weekend? Do you get this?
It was, for me, food for the soul. Yeah. You didn't see partisan band waving. You saw Americans standing up for Americans. Yeah. Because we really are at a moral moment, as we've been generations past in the suffrage movement, the civil rights movement, the labor movement, the LGBTQ movement. So many movements we've seen Americans join arms, a rainbow coalition, standing up for what's right. We need to stand up and start showing that we can form an America. We can redeem the dream of America for more people through our activism.
Boy, Democrats are up on their high horse, and the liberal media is giddy to find rifts within the GOP. Trump versus anti-tariff senators, Musk versus Navarro, all the while turning blind eyes to the fact that the Democrats are the really broken, busted, divided party.
Exhibit A, one Democrat congressman dared to softly back the idea of tariffs with this video.
Tariffs are a powerful tool. They can be used strategically or they can be misused. They've got to be used in sectors that make sense. They've got to be paired with real, meaningful industrial policies.
And Democrats immediately began to eat their own, literally. A popular progressive YouTuber hitting back. We don't need to both sides an issue that is plunging us into a recession.
Joining us to discuss are Fox News contributors Liz Peek and Deroy Murdock. Great to see both of you. Liz, Senator Cory Booker was like, it was like food for the soul. Well, he's a vegan, so he would think that some like blanched baby kale would be soul-filling.
Cory Booker is now a prominent Democrat by dint of having stood on his feet for 25 hours. And broken a record. So good for him. He can go forever without going to the bathroom. I find that really very impressive. He said nothing of importance. Look, the Democrat Party has a serious problem, and there are not serious people addressing it. Their problem is they have no message. What is their message over the weekend? They're going out and basically telling everybody that they don't approve of getting rid of government waste and fraud. I don't know about you. I don't think that's a very winning message for most Americans. What else do they not like? They don't like tariffs. Well, that's fine, except weren't they the party of the working American? And isn't this really an effort to bring manufacturing back, build the jobs for working class Americans? I mean, everything they do just seems upside down and backwards to me.
And then you've got one congressman who's saying, you know what, tariffs, if used strategically, Deroy, may not be the worst thing in the world. And like a praying mantis, they come and they bite his head off because you can't say that. So, you know, they don't want to do anything to help the country. You don't have to agree that Trump's way is the right way to do it, but you also can't say that what he was saying was wrong.
That's right. Well, I'll say this about Cory Booker. Man has a great hairdo. You must admit that.
Yeah. I had to think about that.
There you go. What I don't hear out of any of these
It's a self-compliment.
It's self-deprecating humor there. What I find interesting about all of this, resist. Great. What's your program? What's your policy agenda? Can you give us one idea of something we ought to do? I don't hear that from anybody. Just stop Trump. You know, Trump is evil. Trump is Hitler. This sort of thing. And nowhere they say, look, here's a better alternative to this, or here's something we can do on education, or here's something we want to do about healthcare. I don't hear anything. I mean, even a bad idea like Obamacare or Hillary Care, Cory Care. I don't hear any kind of care. Nothing at all. Just stop, resist, and even you'd think that Democrats would say, you know what, if we do have 40% of the calls coming into Social Security being fraudulent, people are trying to take grandma and grandpa's money and shift them into offshore accounts. Why is that a good thing? Why would you protect that? Why don't you want to shut that down?
Who would back that?
Let's back grandma and grandpa and make sure they have their money doesn't get stolen.
So reckless, dangerous moronicy among left-wing liberals, I will eat that for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This was reported over the weekend, a former federal government employee and his wife, who worked at a nonprofit called Smart Electric Power Alliance, were arrested, charged with defacing Tesla vehicles all around the Capitol Hill neighborhood in Northeast Washington. And that organization, the nonprofit Smart Electric Power Alliance, boy howdy, they pulled down that woman's bio and any reference to her as fast as you could sneeze. So she represents the Smart Electric Power Alliance, and she's defacing, or at least charged with defacing, Teslas.
Yeah, well, that doesn't make any sense, obviously, but it is remarkable the hate that is out there for Elon Musk and for Teslas, and the fact that people are criminally destroying property and stuff, and not one Democrat leader has spoken up and said this is wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, this is pretty astonishing. They keep talking. In fact, the rhetoric gets more and more violent. They're talking about taking to the streets, but they're taking it to Tesla dealerships. Why?
The hypocrisy.
Yeah, the
Deroy.
hypocrisy.
That's what amazes me.
Yeah, this is an interesting phenomenon, which I call left-on-left crime. I'm going to guess if you're a former federal employee who's working for this Smart Energy Alliance and you're running around attacking Teslas on Capitol Hill, these are probably left-wing Democrats destroying the property of other left-wing Democrats.
Yes.
It's not like, hey,
They
let's
are.
get on a plane and fly to North Dakota and attack
Right.
Ford F-150s, okay, in Trump country. This is as hardcore left in the country as you get, other than maybe Berkeley, and you've got people who are on the left attacking each other and destroying each other's property. Absolutely. And
It's just-
yet
It
we're the
does
bad guys.
remind you-
Republicans, of course, are the evil people, despite all
It does remind you that when we first heard about Elon Musk, he was a hero of the left
Absolutely.
because he brought electric vehicles actually to fruition. He actually made them available.
He was
the
the
whole thing is nuts.
6 months ago, they want to make these things mandatory. You had to buy a Tesla.
That's right.
Now they're
Now
running
they
around
hate
setting them on
him,
fire.
and they attack their own.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Defacing several Tesla vehicles. By the way, that video we were showing was not of the Teslas touched by those two individuals, I don't think, because those things had been firebombed. Thank you both.
It was other Tesla destruction.
Yeah, exactly. They had been Molotov cocktailed. Just made a verb out of that. Thank you both.
Thank you.